Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we're diving into the mind-bending world of memory enhancement with Lewis Smiles' The Memory Palace. This 2012 published guide is your route to enhanced recollection, teaching you how to construct a vivid palace in your mind, filled with the images and associations that will help you remember absolutely anything. Lewis Smile, once the lead singer of the 1990s band Soulful Repetition, has traded in his music notes for mnemonic techniques. With other noted publications including MLM Scripts and The Magic Square, Smile has firmly established his expertise in the field of memory improvement. So who should venture into the halls of the Memory Palace? Anyone desiring to boost their memory capabilities? Those who tend to forget their shopping lists? Or trivia enthusiasts seeking to store vast amounts of knowledge for easy access? This book is for you. Prepare to unlock the power of your mind and remember everything you read, from every Shakespeare play to intricate details of historic events, all within 15 minutes. Stay tuned as we navigate the corridors of the Memory Palace. The Memory Palace. Learn anything and everything. Starting with Shakespeare and Dickens. Introduction. Discover the art of expanding your memory's horizons. Can you rattle off the names of all the US presidents, in order of their terms? You might find it easy to remember the well-known ones like JFK and Lincoln, but what about the less famous like Martin Van Buren or William Henry Harrison? Don't you wish there was a foolproof method to make memorizing such information as effortless as breathing? Well, rejoice, because there indeed exists such a method. It is a fact that we haven't fully harnessed the power of our memory yet. These summaries will introduce you to a particular type of memory, our spatial memory, that is like an untapped gold mine just waiting to be exploited. In these summaries, you're going to uncover the crucial role outlandish stories play in fortifying your memory, how Barack Obama could hold the key to recalling the date of the Magna Carta, a neat trick to effortlessly remember all of Shakespeare's plays by their titles. Part 1. Turn your memory into an indispensable ally through exercising it. Ever found yourself scouring your house in search of your misplaced keys? Or sauntering through supermarket aisles, utterly confused, because you left your shopping list at home? If these situations sound familiar, your memory might need a little workout. But don't fret, it's nothing a bit of exercise can't solve. Consider your memory as an elusive muscle. Just like any muscle in your body, it can weaken without proper exercise. Maybe you believe that a sharp memory is a luxury reserved only for geniuses, but the truth is, we all have an untapped powerhouse of memory muscles within us. A little rigorous training can transform anyone into a master of remembering and recalling trivia, and make you the reigning champion of trivia nights. But how can you boost your memory to such lofty heights? Start with a technique that makes championing memory feats seem like a walk in the park. To remember data like names and dates, simply anchor them to vivid images or locations. This strategy leverages your spatial memory, and the key is, the weirder the imagery, the more effective the strategy. Let's put this into context. Suppose you want to remember the titles of William Shakespeare's early plays. Just envision a comically absurd image, say a tri-headed Richard Nixon, perched on a chair, proclaiming he is Richard III. By tapping into your spatial memory and connecting the absurd image of a tri-headed Nixon to Richard III, you have just engraved the play's title in your memory forever. Pretty straightforward, right? But what makes these memory enhancement techniques so remarkably effective? Part 2. Unleash the power of your ancient and formidable spatial memory to retain almost anything. Ever pondered why you remember every nook and cranny of your hometown like the back of your hand, yet the items on your grocery list slip out of your mind as soon as you put your pen down? The key to this mystery lies in your spatial memory. Spatial memory is a common human trait that is essential for navigating our way in this world. This memory type helps you remember crucial locations and the route home from work every day. Without it, we'd be perpetually lost, forgetting our location and directions to our destinations. Our ancestors honed spatial memory over millions of years as a crucial survival tool. During the hunter-gatherer days, long before Google Maps was at our fingertips, remembering the safest route back home was crucial for survival. This prompted our brains to develop spatial memory, enabling us to memorize things based on their association with our environment. Hence, it was more essential to know where to seek refuge than to memorize lengthy lists of names. This means that our current struggles to remember long lists of names and numbers are an echo of our evolutionary past. Does this mean you should abandon any hope of memorizing all the bones in the human body? Hold on! All that's needed is to put your spatial memory to good use and strengthen your brain muscles. By training your spatial memory to meet modern needs, you'll discover that you can indeed link factual data to familiar physical locations. With regular exercises, you'll be able to retain those names and numbers forever. Now you must be wondering, how can you exercise your spatial memory? Rest assured, there's a fascinating and uncomplicated technique awaiting to assist you. Part 3. Amplify your memory power with a mental representation of a familiar place. Looking to boost your memory game? Create a mental map of a place you're familiar with. Let's call this your memory palace. Your memory palace doesn't have to resemble an extravagant mansion. Any space you're familiar with will do the job. You could transform your cozy apartment into a memory palace, or the routine path you tread from your favorite coffee shop to work. What matters isn't the location's aesthetic appeal, but rather your brain's ability to relate information to it. Ideally, you should envision a place with distinct rooms or segments, with each one earmarked to house specific information. Now, how do you morph your memory palace into a memory juggernaut? Simple. Weave a story into it. The trick here is, the more absurd the story, the stronger the memory. As you traverse through your memory palace, envision a wacky short story in each room that connects the information you aim to remember with that specific room. For instance, don't begin your story with a mundane activity like waking up and going to the bathroom. Instead, visualize President Obama tucked away in a corner of your bedroom, rousing you with bouts of laughter and divulging that the Magna Carta was signed in England in 1215. Bet you won't forget that fact in a hurry. Move along your story, hopping from one room to another, encountering equally bizarre and memorable scenarios. For this technique to work, it's critical to visualize this image as vividly as possible. Your imagination is the best tool for your memory palace to come alive and create a potent impact. With this foundation laid, let's delve into the next part and weave a captivating narrative to remember the plays of William Shakespeare. Part 4. Harness your memory palace to recall Shakespeare's most renowned plays. Can you recollect all of Shakespeare's 37 plays? Likely not. So, let's put your newly constructed memory palace to use. Remember, the key is to envision the stories in your memory palace as vividly as possible. Let's kick off in your bedroom. Picture waking up with an intense desire to watch a Shakespearean play. You leap out of bed to get ready, only to find a tiny, obedient shrew performing hoop jumps in your path. No prizes for guessing. This illustrates the taming of the shrew. Navigating around the shrew, you head to the kitchen for breakfast, only to stumble upon 4 inebriated siblings struggling with their lines from a script. Their errors induce fits of laughter. Clearly, this is an enactment of a comedy of errors. Seeing the kitchen chaos, you opt to skip breakfast and head straight to the theater. You move to the next room to get your bike, and lo and behold, Julius Caesar gallops in on a gorgeous white horse with a dark mane, offering you a ride. Who would refuse Julius Caesar? Upon reaching the theater, you notice 2 adolescents engrossed in a passionate embrace. Abruptly, they disengage and exclaim, "Lo and behold, we are Romeo and Juliet!" and dramatically drop dead. Stepping inside the theater to claim a good seat, You witness a corpulent Henry VIII and his numerous wives gliding onto the stage on roller skates. Instantly, they commence drawing figure eights. Why? Because the play's title is Henry VIII. Did you fully focus and vividly imagine these narratives? If yes, it's time to test yourself. After a few hours, see if you can jot down the titles of all the plays in the story. Chances are you'll recall each one. The beauty of this technique is that it can be applied to other memory tasks, like remembering your grocery list. Final summary. The central idea in this book: our brains harbor a vast, untapped reservoir of memory capacity. By leveraging spatial memory and constructing a memory palace, we can tap into this remarkable potential. This strategy can transform anyone into a memory prodigy. In a mere 15 minutes, you can remember more data than most individuals can in an hour. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.